Hello, this is Alexey. In previous video tutorial, we create responsive company website from scratch with a blog, portfolio and upload it to the hosting. In this video tutorial, we'll talk about Joomla articles. We'll talk about managing, creating and customizing Joomla articles. We'll also create a menu item and modules to display articles on a website. Let's start with the Joomla article manager. You need to go here or select Content Articles. Here you can sort articles by these fields, for example, title, author, data creation, hints, ID, and so on. If you want, you can turn off some of these columns. Click here and deselect columns you don't want to see, for example, ID, hits, data creation, author, and so on. Also, you can sort articles by selecting needed parameter here. You can use search, for example, like this, or you can use filters by featured, status, category, access, author, tags, and max level. You can unpublish articles and publish them. You can mark as features to display only feature articles in modules, menu items, and so on. Also, you can select all or some articles you need and publish and unpublish all of them. For example, publish, then you can select all of them, publish. You can delete these articles, for example, move it to trash. Here you can see trashed articles. You can move them back to publish, or you can empty trash. If you empty trash, these articles will be deleted forever. Also, there are batch operations. You can change access level, copy it or move to another category, and add some tags. With access level, categories and tags will work in future video tutorials. Here we can see some options. With some of them we will work in this video tutorial, and on the some of them we will look in the following video tutorials. And now let's create an article. Just click New, add some title, add some text. With this editor we already worked in previous video tutorial. If you want, you can watch them to learn how to use it. Now just let's save it. We won't see this article anywhere here, but now let's create single article menu item. We call it test, and let's place it here in the top menu. Go to menu, create new menu item, article, single article. The title will be test. Here we need to select our article. Just save it, update the page, and we can see our test page. Here it is. Now let's go back to our content. This is articles, this is our test article, and let's see some options here. Here we can save and close, or save as copy, or we can save to menu. We can create menu with just one click. We need to select menu, click save, and here it is, our second menu item for this article. This is just for test purpose. I don't need this. Also, we can save this article as copy, we can close, or we can look at our versions of this article. Here we can see one version of this article. Now let's make some changes. For example, let's add some text. And now we can see two versions. These versions are something like backup of this article. You can restore to the previous version. You can preview that version. You can compare these versions. Or you can delete them. Here we can see some status for this article. Publish, unpublish, and trash we already saw. The archive status you can use, for example, to show articles in special module or menu item just for archived articles. Also, there are categories. About categories we will talk in next video tutorial. Here we can mark this article as featured. As I said before, featured article can be shown in special module or menu item. With access rights we will work in next video tutorials. Just know where you can change it. Also, in next video tutorials we will talk about tags, and these options, node and version node, you can use for your admin purpose. This text won't be shown in the front end, this is just for you. Here, in the Image and Links tab, we can add intro image and full article image. Let's see the difference. For example, here we can see blog. Here, some article, welcome to your blog. This is intro image. And here we can see full text and full article image. For example, let's change the category to blog. Let's split our article, for example, like this. Now let's add some picture here and here. Just go to Images and Links tab, select, for example, this image for intro image and this image for full article image. You can use the same images, but for example I choose different images. Let's save the page, refresh it, and we can see one image here and other image here. You can use one of the images, for example just intro image, so we can see intro image here and no image here. Also, we can add alt text, for example something like this, and capture text, for example like this. Let's see the difference. Here we can see capture text, and in the code we can see alt text. These options I almost never use. For example, we can add link, we can add a link text. Let's save it and see it right here. Just click and we will go to our link. The next tab is COM Content Option tab. There are a lot of options. For example, here is a title option. There is several items: use global, show and hide. If we select use global, then we will use these options, global options. In global options it says show title, but if we select hide and update the page, we won't see the title. So, some of the options are duplicate here, but can be override in the article. But in our case, we have a menu item for this article, test menu item, and if we select here hide, nothing happens. We can see our title, but here we can see hide. Why so? I will leave like this and go to our menu item. Here is our test menu item, and here we can see the same options. Maybe not the same, almost the same. But here is our title option. Now I will change it to hide. And now the title is disappear. So, if we use option use global, then we will use global options for this preference. If for this article we have menu item, then we can override global options, but in menu item settings. But if we don't have menu item for the article, we can override global options in article option. There are a lot of options. For example, we can hide intro text. We can show it. We can show or hide categories, for example, hide category. Now we see it, and now we don't see it. In this way you can show or hide some elements. Also, you can change positions of some elements, for example, positions for the link. Now it's above, and we change to below, update the page, and we can see it below. So, if you want hide or show some article elements, just test these options and choose what you want. I switch back to our article and let's see some important option. It's called browser page title. Let's see our browser page title. In my case, this is word test. Let's change it. As I said before, nothing happened because for this article we have separate menu item. So let's go to menu item, look to our option, and we won't see our browser page title. Browser page title is meta title, it's important for SEO, and here in menu item we can change it right here, not on the option tab but on the page display. Enter our browser page title, refresh the page, and now we can see the title was changed. I move back to our article editor. Let's see the outer tab. Let's add some text, save it, and now we can see it here. The next tab is publishing. Here you can edit start publishing, finish publishing, data and time, start features, and finish featured data and time. Also, you can change create data. For example, you can add your article today and publish it tomorrow. Just enter the start data publishing in future, save it, and it will publish automatically on the data and time that you enter here. Also, here you can change create by name. Here is written by. You can change it, but for this you need to have the preferred username in the user section of your site. With users we will work in next video tutorials, but now just know where you can change the user, and it will change here. In the meta description you can add meta description. It's not very important for SEO, but just know where you can add it. Meta keywords not important, they are not shown in the code of the site. Here you can add author name, but for meta author, for example, just save it. If we refresh the page, nothing changed, but if we can look at our code, we can see meta name author, and here is our author. Content rights. Let's check the page. We won't see it here, but if we refresh the code, we can see meta name rights. Just know where you can see this author and content right fields. You can edit articles not only here, but here in the front page. For this purpose, there is Configure Edit Screen tab. For example, let's log in like a super administrator. Here we can see Edit button. We can click it and see some options, and we can disable some tabs. For example, Publishing options will hide Metadata tab. So, if you want restrict user from using some of these tabs, you can disable it here. The next tab is Permission tabs. With permissions we will work in future video tutorials. But now I just want to show you where you can add some permissions for different user groups. For example, you can restrict delete, editing, and editing state. For example, for super users there are no restrictions, and for publisher you can, for example, restrict delete action. As I promised on the beginning of our video tutorial, now we will create some modules. With modules we will work in future video tutorials, but now I'll show you some article modules. There are a lot of built-in modules, but if you want to search some article modules, just search articles and you can see there are 8 article modules. Let's create, for example, article related module. Here you can see the description. I will call it article related. Position will be right. Menu assignment I will leave on all pages. Just click Save, update the page, and nothing happens. Why? Because here we can see the description. The relations are established by keywords, and for this purpose we can use Meta Keywords option that we already saw in the article. For example, let's go here, go to Publishing, and I will add keyword, for example, Alexei. If we update our page, we won't see anything, but let's add this keyword, for example, in this and this article. Let's update our page and we can see our article related module, and we can see some articles with the same meta keyword. The next module will be article most read. Also, it will be in the right position. Position depends on your template, so in your case it can be another position. Just let's click Save, update the page, and we can see our module articles most read. So in this way you can show some articles and user can go to there by clicking on the links. Here in the modules, you can create modules that show only archived articles. As I told you before, in any article you can use the state archive and then show these articles here. Also, there is a module called Article Newsflash. There are a lot of options, but for example, in this module, you can show only featured article. How to make article featured we already saw in this video tutorial. In the next video tutorial, we'll look at Joomla articles categories and talk about their settings. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments. If this video was helpful to you, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, this is Alexey, see you soon in new tutorials.